All right, welcome back. It's Mediaphile. These are your hosts, Josh,
Jash,
and Warren.
Yeah.
Who refuses to talk for some reason every
Which
single
is
time we
pretty
try to
good.
start the podcast.
that it's
How many
an
times have we
audio-only podcast.
Yeah, you know.
I like visual bits.
We're back after only 4 days from our last recording, trying to get a head start because we have some extra time.
It's also 4th of July week.
Yeah.
So we have it's a weird cut up of days.
Yeah, but we're gonna have
It'll be the same for you guys.
hopefully the same amount to talk about. For you guys, happy late 4th of July. For us, it's one day before.
And Warren.
Right. Gosh dang it. If you guys are listening to this, it should release on Friday.
Yeah, you know, if our editor could get his crap together.
I blame Adobe.
Yeah, what's been going on with the uploads?
What's our editor's name again?
His name is me, Josh McCoin. So
That's a weird name.
I hate
Me, Josh McCoin.
everyone's going to get some fun jargon talk now because what's been happening is the way you asked for this, okay? The way that I edit this is I save everything. I move the audio onto an After Effects file. And then I move the After Effects file directly into Premiere Pro. And so it updates every single time that I save because it just keeps the same file. I don't have to do anything extra. And it saves time when it actually works. But I think it hasn't been saving properly. So I'll go and export it. And even though Premiere Pro says that I'm using the right thing, when it finishes exporting, it has the wrong audio and it makes no sense to me.
So you messed up.
No,
Yeah.
it's the program being weird because if you're looking at something,
Why don't you just make a new project file?
That's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start saving as.
Because what it's doing is it's pulling from the old project file.
Right, even though it's saved different. Yeah. So I'm going to start saving as when I do the waveform so that the new file just doesn't have any history.
Can you make a template for the waveform to where you can just pull that in and just attach the waveform?
What I keep the waveform because there's the line that has the
riveting
waveform.
content, by the way.
There's the line that has the waveform, and then there's the line that has the actual audio. So I keep the waveform the same because it's a generator. It responds to the waveform. And I get rid of the audio, and then just attach the new one on there. So then it just reacts to the new audio.
Yeah, all that to say, if you subscribe to us on Patreon, you will be getting a check in the mail for the day late content. We're really sorry about that.
Yeah.
We'll try to do better.
Right.
Hopefully
Thanks.
we don't lose any Patreon subscribers.
Yeah.
Do we have a Patreon?
What?
No.
That was the joke.
Is the bit.
Oh.
Warren, it was a joke, and then you ruined it.
Yeah.
We should really start the show.
Okay. Well.
So who's
Welcome
who's
to
getting the
Mediaphile.
money for the Patreon is what I'm asking.
No one has Patreon here, unless you have a secret Patreon, Warren. All right. Anyway, Warren, what are you playing / watching this week?
I've been working nights at my actual job right now.
What? This isn't your actual job?
At my actual job, I've been working nights, which requires a lot of mindless, little stuff working on. I'm taking photos. I'm taking photos and I'm doing a bunch of little edit stuff. So I need my phone next to me to kind of kill time. So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, which is what I always do anyway. But I've also got back into Hearthstone, which is
Hearthstone.
which is about the 5th time I've gotten back into it.
I like Magic the Gathering.
It's pretty. I mean, it's that, but
Yeah.
it's like Magic the Gathering light.
Hearthstone is like that middle school, high school girlfriend that you keep breaking up with, but keep going back to a couple months
Specifically
afterwards.
Warren, right?
Yeah.
No, not Warren. It's just you know the couples in middle school, high school that break up and get back together so often.
I've never once.
'Cause just
that reflects my middle school career of dating.
Even
too.
if it hasn't happened to you, you know the people.
Yeah.
You
'cause
probably
they're-
have examples in your head that you could say.
Because they're tiny, they fit in your pocket, and they're easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh my god. All right. Anyway, what else are you watching / playing?
You can keep talking about Hearthstone
Oh,
if
yeah,
you want.
Go ahead. Keep.
So they changed the thing from the last. This shows you how long it's been since the last time I played. Is now they have league or seasons now.
Yeah.
To where things become wild. So if you buy, this is what I hate because it's required. This helps because you can stay relevant in the meta because you don't need 5,000 cards to make a good deck.
Mm-hmm.
And they get rid of OP cards or cards that don't work in the meta. But they make it to where every so often they change the season. So this is now the Year of the Raven.
Right, it's what Magic does too.
Yeah. So there's the Year of the Raven, which means now you need to buy only Raven packs to get the Raven cards so you can play in that meta. And all the cards you bought before are now wild. So you can play in like unranked or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Right, it's like Legacy or whatever. Where
Yeah.
It's every single card that
Is
exists.
legal. So you play in. So I'm playing in that one, and I've never paid for Hearthstone,
Mm-hmm.
and so I went ahead and bought 5 packs. Cost about $5.
Right.
Got those. No, I think you buy 7 packs for $5. Made my own
I
deck.
spent 5. I spent 10. Guys, I spent $50 on Hearthstone.
That's loot boxes.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I spent $100 on.
I just got a second mortgage on my house
And
and bought packs.
All I've ever wanted to do is be one of those Twitch streamers that play Hearthstone, and someone just like does a donation for $100, and like you're only allowed to use this on Hearthstone. I'm like, okay. Have you ever seen people like that?
No,
It's like
I'm not.
spending not my money.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Krindor, Cynical Brit, Toto Biscuit, they all do that.
You're making up words.
Everyone's
kidding.
made up.
But so I've been playing that. I think I'm ranked 20. I'm in like rank 20 right now. So I
Yeah.
kind of shot through the people who just didn't know how to play.
Mhm.
But now I'm getting to that point of like, oh, you just have better cards than me right now.
Right.
Because you spent more money.
You got into where actual Hearthstone starts.
Because I'm using like Classic Druid and Classic Mage.
Yeah.
And I'm good with those to a degree, but people have just like custom-made decks that just know what the meta is right now. And I don't care enough to look it up.
Right, and even if you looked it up, it's like, oh, I don't have this card.
Yeah,
And you
either
can't buy specific cards.
Well,
you have
you
to
can-
use dust.
Yeah, so you can buy enough packs and then dust enough cards to make the card you want.
Right.
And hope you get the card you need. This is why I hate TCGs.
Right.
Because I really like playing them. I just hate the prep to it.
Yeah.
Same
Right.
thing for like competitive Pokemon.
Yeah, because I love like Pokemon Showdown, where you can just build your Pokemon
Yeah.
and be like, this is the Pokemon that I'm using. But when you're doing it and you have to breed them, it's like all this stuff is unnecessary. That'd be like going to a fighting game tournament and losing because their Ryu was bred with better stats than your Ryu.
Right, that's the thing I've always hated about those kind of things. And again, at a certain level in TCG, when you get to like the highest level, money's not really a factor anymore because the people who are that high have usually played long enough to where they have all the cards they need.
Right.
And they have enough decks. But just getting to that point is such a barrier.
But even if you still have to, they still have to put in money to get to that point because it's always changing. I mean, if they're playing like Legacy, then yeah, they have their decks.
Mhm.
But if they're playing Standard, then every couple months they're buying new cards. Maybe not packs because they probably they know what cards are coming out before they come out, so they probably build their theoretical decks
Mhm.
and just buy the cards.
When like playing this, playing Hearthstone makes me want to play actual TCGs again.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind playing Magic.
Magic?
I wouldn't mind playing Magic,
Oh.
even though most Magic players are dirty, filthy hobos.
Wow!
That's okay.
Wow!
Oh, my
Our first dislike ever is gonna be from some random
Magic,
person.
but I like Magic. I'm just kidding for the most part.
For the most part.
I wouldn't mind, but I don't want to build decks. I want to do like a draft.
I think drafts would be so much fun.
Drafts feel like the perfect answer to that, to where you spend $20, you get a bunch of packs, pick the card you want, pass it, and
Yeah.
you get to make cards out of what you want.
Everyone's
That
on
way-
the same like baseline starting out.
Right, you just have to play better than the other person.
Right.
That sounds more fun to me.
I
Also,
wanted to draft just us three. That'd be fun.
Look,
could do that.
You need like 8 people for a draft.
oh, do you? I don't know
Why?
how drafts work.
Because I mean,
Ooh,
I guess
sneaky.
you could do it with 3 people. You heard it here first, guys.
You need 8
It's
people for a
storming.
draft. Josh, that was a really cool sound effect you added in post.
I
Because
didn't pick up.
the
They probably didn't.
the way that it works is everybody buys a pack. So now there's 8 packs in there, and then everyone picks a card and passes it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because you need enough packs to get a deck.
Oh, I see where it is. So if we all bought 3 packs and we did it, we wouldn't have a full deck when we did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if we all bought 3, then probably.
I would go to like a Friday night Magic and do a draft night.
I wish that there was a game store where I lived when this set came out. I forget what it was called. It might have been called like Conspiracy or something, but it was a Magic the Gathering set that was made to be drafted. So they had cards that really only would matter like in a draft. And I remember one card was like add another booster pack to the draft, but it doesn't specify Magic the Gathering booster pack. So, like, you could go get, like, a Pokemon booster pack and put it in.
And try to make that work with it.
Yeah.
Because I used to, like, when it comes to TCGs, I used to like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right.
A lot. But, again, I've only played Yu-Gi-Oh! Up to, like, when XYZ summons were a thing.
Right.
Well, is that what they're called?
No, we didn't even have, like, we just had, like, normal, like...
No, there was XYZ summons. I don't know if that's the name of it, where you, like, stacked monsters on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you could sacrifice one of the monsters to make it go back to a base level, but you got some weird special ability when you did that. Like, destroy X-Head Cannon to destroy one monster with 1,500 attack on the other side. I remember that, but then Synchro Summons became a thing. I don't know how that works. And then Pendulum Summons became a thing.
Right, just, like, imagine taking...
I hate watching plays now.
Like, because you recently found your cards, right?
Yeah.
Like, imagine, like, rolling up and you're like, all right, guys, I play Elemental Hero Avion. And then they, like, well, I see Summon and Pendulum Summon. And like, they just fill the thing.
And because turn one, there are decks that just, like, fill the field with, like, 3,000 plus attack level monsters.
Right. So, like, your 2003 deck would just get destroyed by the power creep of the last 15 years.
I mean, that's exactly what it is, because Synchro Summons were way too overpowered, because you got way too good of cards out way too fast.
Right.
And I think Pendulum Summons were made to counter that.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know.
Right, you're just saying words. Like,
I don't really know what I'm talking about. I just know it's confusing and it scares me.
Right.
I never have once played Yu-Gi-Oh! What I have played was Magic the Gathering, but when I was younger, while my friends were collecting Pokemon cards, I was collecting Star Wars cards, which was a semi-popular, not really popular.
No, I was like, don't even say semi.
Everyone was playing it that I knew. I didn't know a lot of people.
No, they were popular enough for the card game to be at Kmart. So I could buy
Wow.
my books at Kmart.
Wow.
Jeez.
Is that me?
Yeah, that was you. I've not seen that much red since the Cold War.
Topical.
Anyway, no, I collected all of those, which was actually, I learned were made by Wizards of the Coast, which ended up making one of my other favorite games, which is HeroScape, but they went on to
They also make Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, and Magic the Gathering, the board game. I don't know if they make Magic the
they
Gathering the TCG.
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go.
I always forget that's a Magic the Gathering game. I love that game, though.
The board game?
Planeswalkers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Arena of the Planeswalkers. For those of you who don't know, it's like a tactics game where you have like figures and stuff, and it's based off of Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, so if you've ever played the game HeroScape, like if you were into like board games in 2005, because that was actually it was pretty popular.
Yeah, it was really popular.
Planeswalkers?
No.
Oh,
HeroScape.
HeroScape
Sorry.
was. And they basically combined those two games, which is really
Okay.
They streamlined HeroScape and added a Magic the Gathering twist onto it.
It's funny that in Mediaphile we got off of Hearthstone and just started talking about like physical games.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it works. Whatever.
It's still games.
Did we ever play? This is almost like a personal thing, but did we ever play that game with 4 people? Have we ever played?
Yes.
We did.
Who's it with?
We played with Andrew.
Andrew. Okay.
Andrew played with.
Because I only ever remember playing like us 3, and that game is not. I mean, the game is still fun.
But it's not meant for 1v1v1.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not fair, or it's not fun for 3v3 or like
1v1v1.
Yeah, 3 people with free for all.
Free for all.
Because
Free for all.
if 2 people decide to attack one person, there's nothing you can do.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no mechanics to like help the odd one out.
To be fair, that never happens. What normally happens is one person attacks another person, that person gets mad, and they start attacking each other. One guy just stands in the corner the whole game and then waits and then finishes off the person who beats the other guy.
Yeah, and then
Like
Doolin cheats.
I cheat?
Yeah, you did though.
well,
You did
Not on purpose.
unknowingly.
And I admitted my fault because I could have just kept playing that way, which would have been really funny.
Yeah, I'd say you're the one who brought up the fact that you were cheating.
Yeah.
Because
Doolin was, he read a card wrong, and that made his character, like, super OP.
What was it? Every time you got attacked, you got more damage? Or every time you got damage, you got more attack?
It was however many characters are beside me is how many extra die I roll
for damage.
For attack, but not for defense.
Okay.
I thought it was for defense as well, which it was.
That's what
not.
it was. So you could never die.
If I was surrounded by people, I was impenetrable.
Right. Which is kind of like real life. You have enough people around you, you're pretty much invincible.
But it was
but not those people are the ones that are hitting you.
Yeah. Just ask Julius Caesar.
A2 Broody.
Man,
Too soon.
I'm really talking bringing up points of history today. I don't know how I'm feeling.
Yeah,
like.
man, the Cold War, the cold stab.
Caesar salad.
Yeah.
I'll even get into more history whenever I talk about mine.
What else?
Spoilers.
I finished Luke Cage. It's okay.
Season 2.
Right, that's the general consensus.
It's very, very okay. Iron
would you
Fist
rank
just
it?
shows up.
Oh, that's cool.
He just shows up for 2 episodes and then he just leaves. He doesn't really have I gotta go back to my thing. It's very much like looks like you had this thing covered. I gotta go back and run a company. See you
I was
guys.
only contracted for 2 episodes.
It feels like that.
Well, because in the comics, Luke Cage and Iron Fist are buds.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that, after season 2 of Iron Fist, there's not a season 3 of Iron Fist. There's not a season 3 of Luke Cage. They just kind of Heroes for Hire, I think, is
their team name?
Yeah.
They can call it Iron Cage.
Dude, yeah. It'd be like a wrestling match.
Does each defender protect a different borough of New York? Is that their thing?
Or Luke Fist.
Is that how they're
I don't think specific. I know that
because
Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen,
which I don't know what that technically is.
Right.
It's a Food Network show.
Yeah, with Gordon Ramsay.
Yes.
Luke Cage is Harlem.
Yeah, I don't know about the other two.
Well, Danny Rand would be Manhattan.
Right. So is Jessica Jones in Queens, I guess, or the Bronx?
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I don't know a lot about New York.
I only know the boroughs in New York from Gargoyles.
Yeah, and I only know Queens because that one the Kevin James show.
Anyway, what else have I watched most of
Way too much to talk about.
What?
I said I have way too much to talk about.
That's good though, because I have.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get it off. I'll let Josh.
No, you're fine.
No.
What else have you played? Have you played anything other than Hearthstone?
I played more Aces. I've actually figured out how to play that game now.
That's good.
I think the first day I played 20 matches and won 1. To be fair, I skipped the tutorial, so I was just kind of it was just trial by fire.
It was a uphill battle from the beginning.
Yeah, it was a trial by fire, just figuring out how everything works. Found the character I'm good with. Chain Chop's the best.
Of course he is. He's a freaking chain chomp.
He doesn't have any arms. How does he play tennis?
It's in his mouth.
That seems really difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his thing is he has really good lateral movement to where left and right, if it's way on the other side of the court, he will dive bomb and knock it back super easily. But front and back he's very bad at. He can't get up front and hit the ball or get back to hit the ball very easily.
To be fair, tennis is more of a you move left to right rather than forward back anyway. I don't know how that game is that way.
So when you go left to right, you don't have to anticipate as much. You just get to you just get it every time. But with Chain Chomp, you have to anticipate if they're gonna lob it low or lob it back.
Gotcha.
So it's good. Koopa Troopa just came out for it. He's the fastest character in the game now.
Are you excited for Diddy Kong being added?
Is Diddy Kong getting added?
Yeah, they're the new characters, the next 3 are Paratroopa, Diddy Kong, and Birdo.
What?
Yeah.
What about what's the squid?
Blooper. I think Blooper might be first. I think they're the second group of people coming.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Because I haven't seen anything for Diddy Kong or Birdo.
Mm-hmm.
What is Blooper? Is it from
he's the squid.
He's the one on the water level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were talking about Splatoon for a second.
Gotcha. I was
No,
you're asking what game he's from? Super Mario Brothers, the first one.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, not Inklings. The little white squid things that are in the water levels.
Well, insert a little video of Russian
roulette
of Warren dancing there.
I don't add video to this. You think I got that kind of time?
Man, I
I think we got that in the budget.
got the burps. So are you good with your?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I also played Wrecking Ball from Overwatch, the new character.
You have the PTR.
Yeah, I have it on PC.
So what? How close were we with our prediction of how he plays?
So he moves the same speed as everyone else in his like his droidica, like his like out form.
Really?
He's just
Okay.
as fast as everyone else. That's his default form.
Okay.
But when he goes into ball form, he's just insanely fast and he can speed up.
Oh, and he has like a grappling hook too, so he can like. Oh, you were there when we found out.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
Yeah, he's a wrecking ball, so he like grabs onto things and he'll swing and go to different locations.
That's crazy.
He's the most fun character to move around in. Like him and Lucio are like tied for like.
Dude, what like Wrecking Ball with speed boost?
Oh, that'd be so
With
cool.
Lucio speed boost. That'd
Yeah.
be great.
But no, he's busted. He's a busted OP character right now, but it's okay because he's only in PTR.
Right, like that's the point
Every time,
of the PTR.
every time a new character comes out, they're way too good in PTR, and then when they get released officially in the actual game, they usually tone them down quite a bit.
Yeah, like Doomfist.
Because right now he does like he can launch in the air and just have a dive bomb where he goes a straight vertical downward hit and it makes like a shockwave
Jeez.
thing.
Yeah.
I've seen things where Anna will nano boost him.
Oh.
He'll go up. He'll like find a ramp and fly super high, and then see the group of people and just slam down the middle and kill everybody. And then he goes into his like turret mode and just kills anyone who's left.
It makes me so mad that he has that dive bomb, mainly because they never gave Farah that dive bomb, and she literally has it in one of her highlight intros.
That's not part of her gameplay though.
But it should be.
Yeah.
But that's not like.
If they
It's not like
put it
how
in
the
a
archetype of
trailer.
the character works. I understand it to a degree.
Like in her highlight intro, she has the like, the
If at some point in the future they give everyone like 2 alts, like what they do with like fighting games.
when it shouldn't be like her ultimate. It should be like if she's flying, hit crouch, and she can just do a quick fall.
I've thought.
So you just wanted? Do you want to do damage though?
Maybe
Or do you just wanna-
maybe not damage, but maybe a little bit of knockback.
Oh, okay. I can kind of see that because the problem with that is like Farrah doesn't want to be on the ground ever.
Right, but if she ever needs to get down quickly, she should be able to too. Mainly just because it's in her highlight intro.
I've thought if they really wanted to like mix things up for the entirety of Overwatch, it would be really cool to add a 50% like
a tiny ult.
like a completely different move that isn't as powerful, but you
Well,
can use
again,
it.
we can use the analogy like fighting games because in like
Yes,
Street Fighter or
exactly.
whatever, you have your super move, and then you have different bars where you can do an EX, which is just a stronger version of a normal move. So you could have like, so Farah's thing instead of like her rocket jump thing, her like EX version of that could be like up and forward, so she can shoot super far horizontally, and everyone can have different versions of that. That'd be cool.
I would like that.
Someone call Jeff.
That'll be in Overwatch arcade mode. No, wait, Super Overwatch.
Yeah, Turbo Edition.
I only have one thing to say about the Wrecking Ball character. I really liked the picture that you shared on Twitter of
the 6 of them?
6 of them, and then they quoted, what was it?
G-Force, let's go, boys.
G-Force, let's go. I was like, that is awesome. That is perfect.
Poop in his hand, poop in his hand. You know, widely popular movie.
Is that-
G-Force.
That's from. Never mind.
It was like 2012. It was a while ago.
That's from the Adam Sandler movie.
What?
Poop in his hand, poop in his hand.
No, it's from. It's either. I'm pretty sure it's either.
No, no. I'm thinking like the Zookeeper with Adam Sandler, whatever that movie's called.
Oh.
And they say that's Kevin James, and it's the monkey who says throw poop at him.
Gotcha.
Different poop joke, same idea.
No,
Yeah.
the someone has like a hold of him.
Yeah,
and they're
okay.
like poop in his hand, poop in his hand.
Yeah, G-Force.
All right.
That's good for my week.
So I'll go next.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you have the longest, so I would be a little bit underwhelming at the end. Because I have next to nothing. I will say that I started rewatching my favorite anime, Gurren Lagann.
Good stuff. Good things.
Never heard of that.
I had thought it's from 2007, 2008, and it is literally the best anime ever. I thought with the recent big episode of My Hero Academia, they had overtaken my love for Gurren Lagann, but it was just because I had watched it sooner. Gurren Lagann is amazing, and
Gurren's up there at least my top 3.
there's really not a lot I can say about it, especially with Doolin having not seen it. but watch it. That is
Gurren Lagann.
all I can say.
Topin Toppin Gurren
Is
Lagann.
please watch this show. It's on Netflix, and it's on Verve.
It's English and
English and Japanese
Okay,
on
cool.
Netflix. Only Japanese on Verve.
Okay.
But yeah,
Weird.
Anything else?
because Funimation didn't dub it.
That was one of those. Yeah.
That's why it's not English on Verve.
That's one of those shows that I remember really well in like high school. People passing around because I think you were one of those people who were passing around the DVDs.
No, I had it on flash drive.
You had it in flash drive because I remember that was a time period, like what, like the late aughts, where everyone in high school and middle school were passing around like CDs and flash drives of their favorite animes because that was the best way to show people.
Somebody
Because if it's not on
burned me every
People did that? I didn't
an
know that.
entire
Yeah.
like DVD set, like burned DVDs of what's the old like robot anime from the 80s? Evangelion.
Oh.
Pokemon.
Gosh dang it.
No.
They gave me the entirety of Evangelion on burned discs, and I watched like 3 episodes.
This isn't a call out at all, but I just want to make this point. Have you seen an anime all the way through, Doolin?
All the way through?
Yeah, have you seen an anime all the way through before?
What? Define anime.
Japanese animation.
Just in general?
Avatar doesn't count
Avatar.
I know Avatar doesn't count.
because it was made in America.
does-
Avatar is
um,
anime, but Avatar does not count for the sake of this conversation.
Avatar
'Cause
is
I know
inspired by anime.
Yeah.
But it's not anime.
Does wait, what's the name of the show? I know I've seen all of them at this point. With Samuludan and they're robots.
Oh, Metabots?
Yeah,
Metabots
Metabots.
was
Oh.
an anime.
Yeah,
saw-
Metabots is anime.
I've seen all of Metabots.
Okay. Okay, fair.
It was a long time ago, but I really liked the show and I collected all the characters. Not
Okay.
all of them, but you know.
This wasn't me
Yeah.
making
I
fun.
had gold Metaby. That was cool.
Gosh.
This wasn't me making fun of you.
Metabots.
This is more like a character development thing of just everyone understanding like me and Josh are decently in the anime like whole, and Doolin is kind of like outside staring at us and being confused and scared.
I've seen an episode of a couple of different shows. Like I've seen like the first 3 episodes of everyone's favorite Attack on Titan.
So good.
Season
Season 3 coming out soon. I'm very...
Maybe.
Yeah, no, in July.
Oh, is it in July?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I watched enough for the
So
main
now.
character to die, and then
Ugh, spoilers.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
really, though.
That's like one of the biggest animes, and
Yeah.
also that's what 6 years old now.
I forgot the break between season 1 and season 2.
It was like 3 years.
Agonizing.
Yeah.
I saw like one episode of the Full Metal Alchemist, or not
That's-
even a full episode.
That's one of the best things.
It was like part of an episode, and it was really, really sad. And the guy in the suit was crying, and there was a sword.
He's
like,
and that's just. Let me clarify this. There's not a guy in a suit.
oh,
The guy is the suit.
If
well,
he
he
took
was
off the
he was
helmet-
hiding somebody inside of him,
Yeah.
or something like that, and the person
They
died.
put a sword. Yeah, I know what you're talking
And he
about.
was crying, and
Because
he
Fury.
he
Okay.
wouldn't run away, and I was like, it's one of those things where you're watching the anime and you're like frustrated at the screen because like no, the character isn't reacting at all to what's happening, and it's like, just do something about it. Like, come on.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. I know exactly what you're talking about. Full Metal Alchemist is probably up there in like my top 5.
Right.
go.
I was a
That's-
late
that's-
watcher of that.
What?
I was a late watcher of that. I still need
I
to
also-
watch Brotherhood. I think
I
I'm going
also
to watch
was.
Brotherhood after I
You
finish
never watched
Gurren
Brotherhood?
Lagann.
Weird.
I started it and then I think I like stopped being subscribed. No, it wasn't on Netflix anymore. I started watching it on Netflix around the time that it came off of Netflix.
Okay.
Which I think it might be back on Netflix now. But either way, I'm gonna watch it on Verve. But that's all I have to say. You have a lot to say, so.
Well, one that I know you haven't talked about that I want you to share a story from is something that I've played this week, which is a continuation of multiple different times where we've talked about this game. But I want you to tell your story that we had from our experience in State of Decay 2 this week.
This is a good time for a bathroom break.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Perfect.
there's in State of Decay 2,
Can you fill up my water?
probably
Yes, I can.
also in
Don't
1.
do it after you pee. Do it like
I'll
wash
do
your
it-
hands.
We'll figure it out. You can guess by the taste.
So in State of Decay 2, there are special zombies, similar to most games that
Yes.
have zombies in them. One of them is a big old guy, looks kind of like the Chargers from Left 4
Juggernaut.
Dead. Yeah, they're called the Juggernauts. And this was my first experience with them. And when I first saw them, I was like, there's a giant zombie with a like deep voice yelling at me. And Doolin's exact words were, "Oh, that's a juggernaut. Don't mess with it."
Yes, because I played the first game and know what they've done to my teams before. So I was just from experience being like, "Hey, don't fight that thing."
And the fact that I'm telling you this story lets you know that I did mess with it. I was standing on a rock. The way multiplayer on State of Decay 2 works is you go to someone else's world. There's not like a group server. It's one person has their world and you go into it. So I was at my friend Wesley's world and I was outside his base and I thought, hey, maybe I can snipe this juggernaut from far away, make its head explode so that we just don't have to deal with it. So like I'm using a rifle and I'm shooting at its head, and it's not dying, and it starts walking towards me, but I positioned myself to where he was, like, on the bottom of a hill, and there was, like, a rock in the way. So I was like, okay, maybe I can just, like, mess with the AI, and it will just let me shoot it. But that's not what happened. It walks around the rock and starts walking towards me. So I'm like, oh, crap. Well, then I'm just going to climb over the fence of Wesley's base so that he can't get to me. So I do that. And he starts walking towards me, but he starts walking away from me down the like area of the gate, or the fence rather.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, this maybe he's just going away, maybe he's just done. But then he busts open the gate, and that is when I was aware that I had royally screwed up.
Yeah, and just to like add to why this is really a big deal, especially in this game, is like the game doesn't allow you to respawn or anything. You have a limited amount of characters, and if one of your characters dies, they're gone forever. And so you have to like talk with other groups and get them to join your group, but like people can't be replaced. Like all of their stats are just gone. So this juggernaut can literally rip people in half. It has a move where it grabs and it'll either A, slam your head into the ground, or B, bite your head off, or C, just rip you in half. Your character's gone at that point. So Josh had led a juggernaut into not his base, but his friend's base, and all of his characters are now fighting this juggernaut.
So at this point, Wesley's freaking out, like, "Well, why did you do that?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I didn't think it would come in here." So we're all like shooting at it, and I'm just like terrified because I see it like hitting his people. Like they are taking damage. He is not ignoring the NPCs, and I'm like, "This is it. I just killed all of my friend's people." Luckily, between me, him, and all of his NPCs, we were able to take it down. It actually had a really cool ending because there's ground takedowns in the game, and you can do that to the special zombies too. And since the Juggernaut's so big, the person like climbs on his back, and he's like trying to shake him off, and they like slit his throat or hit him in the head or whatever. I'm not sure how the zombies work in that game, but it was a really cool ending to a terrifying situation where I almost ruined my friend's entire game.
And I'm really surprised. Like, did all of his characters have guns? Did they pull out guns?
Yeah, there were people shooting at it.
Okay, I want you to know that I've learned this the hard way. Like,
are you still talking?
Yes, we are. Yes, it's a podcast. Anyway,
If you didn't.
I know this from experience. They will just use whatever weapon they have, and they won't use up the ammo in their like person. It's kind of like if you've ever played Fallout or even Skyrim. As long as you give them one ammo of the gun that like the type they need for the gun they have, they'll have unlimited ammo in that NPC. And so that's how State of Decay 2 works. But if they don't have a gun that you've given them, if you haven't given them a gun yet, they'll just pull out their melee weapon
and go attacking.
And start going attacking things. And
do AIs have a? This is weird to say. Do they have like a fear of death, or will they just always rush the enemy?
Well, I mean, they won't rush until the enemy
they have any strategy to what they do.
Is aggroed on them.
Okay.
So like they'll stay with you and they won't attack things until the enemy becomes aggroed on them, and then they attack.
I feel like
Okay.
the AI is a little bit different in the base defending though, because if a zombie gets into the base, I feel like their like AI is kill.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. They consider that a base attack.
So
which
in
gives
this
you extra influence.
situation,
Yes.
they all went to it.
Yeah. The one thing that the reason I know that they don't even consider like repercussions of the zombie is because bloaters will get in our base, and like that was before all my characters had guns. So one guy just pulled out like a knife and like attacked it and exploded, and he's like, I'm dying, and I'm like,
Yeah, idiot.
yeah. We've established from the beginning of this game that bloaters are bad.
Didn't you
to
watch
get
the
up next to
tutorial?
you. Like,
There's no tutorial.
Oh, okay.
yeah, there
well.
is.
Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's like
there
a
is.
yeah. In this game there is finally, but yeah, it doesn't teach you everything, but yeah. Okay, so we played State of Decay 2, which is like a thing we talked about the past couple weeks. I've played a new game though, specifically for the podcast.
I don't know why I'm
because
making
I
fun
would
of you.
not have
We're
played.
all bad at this.
Yeah.
I would have not played this game had I not thought I need to play something so I can have something new to talk about. But last month, Games with Gold, Xbox free game of the month was one of the ones was Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia, which is the third. I didn't know this. Third in the Chronicles games.
One's in China.
The first one's in China.
One's
the second
in
one,
India?
yes, the second one's in India. I looked up reviews after I played through. I'm at 80% of the game. I thought the game would be a lot shorter than it is. I was playing it at last night. I started at 6 playing it, and I was like, I'll just play through to the end. And every time a level finished, I was like, oh, this isn't the end yet. Well, I'll go ahead and play the
It's
next
like when
one.
we played Guilty Party.
Surely
Did it
this
ever-
one's the last one.
Did it ever feel like it was supposed to be the end, but it kept dragging on?
Yes.
That's the worst.
It was. I finished chapter 8 last night. I looked it up after that because it was 3 a.m, and I was like, I probably should get some sleep. If there's one chapter left, I'll play it now. And it said that there was 10 and a half chapters, and I was like, I'll just play the
How
2
is
and a
that
half.
half a chapter?
It's like a
Epilogue.
thing,
Gotcha.
but apparently there is like a little
Do
bit.
you ever look? I do this all the time when I'm trying to like figure out like the length of a game. Do you ever like go on GameFAQs or something and look up like how many chapters are in this just so I have a good like?
Well,
I always want to know my progress in a game when I play.
Yeah, it doesn't have like a percentage bar in the game, which is something that I like in some games.
Right.
Like it shows you like your campaign is 44% done. But
A lot of those are misleading though, because they
It's
they
achievement
count.
based.
Yeah, they count like collectibles and stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
I like the way that I know that once again talking about like a 4-year-old game, but I like the way that Shadow of Mordor does it because
wow.
it says like this many
Yes.
like missions out of this many
Yeah.
missions have been done.
yes, it's funny that you mentioned that because Mass Effect 1 is one of those games where its percentage is based off of the total game you finish.
Right.
Mhm.
Which
Horizon
Most-
Zero Dawn was like that too.
Most games are like that, to where you could beat the game, but it says like you're 33% of the way done.
Well, Mass Effect 1 is insane about this, though, particularly because there is achievements in the game for, like, finishing a certain percentage of the game, and I knew that game had to be crazy long because I had put, like, easily 40 hours into it, and I hadn't got the achievement for finishing 15% of the game
Oh
yet.
gosh,
And, like, you can finish the game and only be 10% of the way done with it.
that's ridiculous.
Which is insane. That is,
Right.
like, almost
I feel like they need
too
to
much.
reevaluate. their-
But, like, I can't even imagine how many hours you need to put into it to 100% the
right,
game.
and that's like the worst of the 3.
Yeah. Out of the 3 games, Mass Effect 1 was the worst. But I still love the game.
Right, but it's like that's so many hours to have to put. I feel like I got a lot out of Mass Effect 2, and I feel like I put like maybe between like 30 and 50.
Yeah. I mean, that's a solid RPG hour time, I
I feel
think.
like 30 hours is like that's good.
That's a nice medium.
Yeah,
So...
I think that's how long it took me to be Twilight Princess. Was like that's when I started. Like that was my bar.
I gotta like break the mold and get back into playing like a long form, like a triple A.
That's what Horizon Zero Dawn was for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still I'm very much in the mood of either playing competitive games to where I can stop whenever I want, or playing like quicker indie games that are maybe like at the high in 6 or 7 hours.
You know what you should play? Because I only played the very first part of it, and then everyone was like, hey, we should play Until Dawn for the YouTube channel. And I was like, all right, well, I'll trade in this game and play it. But I think you specifically would like it, is Mad Max.
I've played Mad Max.
You played Mad Max?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Did
an
you like
Ubisoft
it?
game.
Yeah. It felt a lot like they had Batman style like fighting.
Yeah.
Mixed with like shooting and then just in the Mad Max universe.
It was okay. Again, it goes back to like it's an Ubisoft game of find the tower, climb the tower,
Open the map.
Get bigger, get more things, stuff like that.
Find the collectibles.
It honestly felt like they took, which I know they didn't do this game, or maybe they did. I don't. Who does Shadow of Mordor?
That's WB.
WB. Okay, it feels like they took Shadow of Mordor and just Mad Max themed it. Like
Right.
it feels a lot like that. Even in the sense that you're a character in this world that doesn't belong, and every character in it is insane, and
Right.
But anyway, getting back to
Oh yeah, because you have like the partner guy that follows you around.
Yeah.
And he's like
same kind of thing.
He like doesn't he prays to the cars.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah.
like Ratbag.
Mm-hmm.
I love Ratbag.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Ratbag.
Anyway, Assassin's Creed Chronicles of Russia. If you have not played any of the Chronicles games, this is a 2D variant of the
I like
original
the China
Assassin's
one.
Creed, which I like that because I have a hard time getting into Assassin's Creed games just because of how huge they are.
What was the last Assassin's Creed game I actually got into?
I played 3. That was the last one I played.
I don't know.
I think I remember trying Unity and then giving up, and that was the last one I've actually.
I
went to.
have enough open world, free range, do these missions however you want games on my plate right now that I could
I'm
be
so
playing.
yeah,
And
that's what I'm tired of.
I don't want to play an Assassin's Creed game for that. But give me a 2D game that isn't like the similar thing that is linear. I like diving into those every once in a while just to get an experience out of. And it's cool because it's not just 2D. It kind of has like a 3-plane system.
2.5D.
Yeah. Is that really how you
Yes.
describe that?
It's a
so
thing.
cool. Well, there you go. And it's set in it's set in 1918, where you're this Russian assassin who saves. It's during the Bolshevik revolution.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Rise of the Proletariat.
Yes. So you save this duchess named Anastasia, and she ends up
That's
being
a real person.
Well, there
Yes.
you go.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah, you're right.
She
She's
ends up.
also in the movie Anastasia.
Yeah. It's also really good when you're like having surgery.
I hate you. But anyway, she actually apparently touches one of the
Pieces of Eden. yes.
of Eden, and she
The
gets
magical MacGuffins.
Yeah, she gets the spirit of a past assassin inside of her. So like she's still her, but she
Right.
can channel that person, and so they're like every single chapter you play your character, and then there is a very quick mission that you'll do as her. And she
Okay.
has a completely different set, and that is where the game shines because your character is just like OP.
Yeah.
And like you'll run through and just like murder everything. I do have a couple qualms with like the mechanics and everything, just because, you know, it's a wonky game.
Right.
And I read like the time frame; it got really rushed. Like Assassin's Creed Chronicles India gets dropped in January. In February, Russia gets dropped, and it's like
How long was the gap between the first two? Do you know?
The first one came out a long time ago.
the first one came out in 2016 in June.
Mm-hmm.
And
Was it
then
2016?
Yeah.
That was like 2014. I thought it came out at the same time around like Unity.
no, apparently, well, I mean, these are 2015, 2016. One of those
Okay.
two. All I know is that it came out in June, and then the next one came out in January, and then the last one came out in February. It was like, just throw these
Yeah.
games out there. And it was, I don't know. I liked it. Getting back to what I was saying, the levels with the girl are way more fun because she has one ability that can help her somewhat. And as the game goes on, she'll get like one or two
What's
more
the
abilities.
ability?
It is the ability to like blend in absolutely wherever she is.
Mm-hmm.
And so
like the prayer mechanic in like the first one, where you like.
Yeah.
Yes. But she can only do that. Like she goes into spirit form basically, and she just is in place. And if you move, you reappear.
Yeah.
Which makes her character so much harder to play as.
Right.
And
you have to think more.
So it is constant like, all right, can I go this way? There's 2 guards there. Can I like get by them using this ability? No. Well, I kind of failed that time. Let's go back and try again. No. Okay. Well, maybe it's making it to where I can't do that. Maybe it's telling me I can't do that. Let's try one more time. And I don't do it. I'm like, all right. Well, where else can I go? Oh, look, there's a ladder leading completely the opposite way. Let's go that way. Oh, there's like 2 guards there. Like it's just a constant thing of like getting rid of options.
Yeah.
And figuring out what
Trying
works.
to figure out what either the most optimal or which one the most possible way is.
And in the same way as like the game Inside or Limbo, you keep trying until you get one like really good perfect run, and at the end of that, when you get the like checkpoint, you're like, that was awesome. That looked absolutely incredible.
With the other character, you would just kill everyone.
Kind of.
You just kind of steamroll through.
He would have the same type of thing, but less often. But that game, I would recommend if you want to throw like 6 hours into something. It's like a year and a half old.
Okay.
I
only knew there was one Chronicles game, so I didn't know about the other 2.
They were announced all at the same time.
Oh, okay. Weird.
I've heard though, because I looked up the reviews after the game was like after I finished pretty much all of the game, because I hate letting that affect how I feel about a game. India is apparently the best one out of the 3. Like most Metacritic gave it like a 7.5, whereas Russia Metacritic gave it like a 5. And Metacritic gave China like a 6. So 7.5 better than 6 and 5. At least
those are harsh scores.
Yeah. Really quick, I don't think Metacritic gives people scores. I think Metacritic's like an aggregation of.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Metacritic is
the Metacritic score.
That's where I like to go, because it's not just one person's opinion where they might have played it and got really frustrated with one specific part of the game, and so they're just reviewing it poorly.
It's an average of scores amongst like all the big names.
Yeah, the only issue I ever had with Metacritic is like, because there's the professional and then there's like user scores, and that's a good way to like judge when certain games of like, wow, the user score is terrible, critical score is like through the roof. Weird. The one issue,
it's like Rotten Tomatoes for movies.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. The problem with Metacritic is like, even though one person doesn't have that much of a pool, one person can mess a score up pretty poor, like a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because one critic, and I think they like weigh it by who it is. Like, and the IGN score weighs more than like,
my score.
Your score.
Because I upload mine. I'm just kidding.
Your score wouldn't be any critic.
Yeah.
Like IGN.
It will be one day.
weighs more than like a lower level company. But because wasn't there someone
with Breath of the Wild, somebody intentionally gave it a bad score because it was getting like perfect 10s.
Seriously?
Yeah, so they just wanted to be the different review. It was clickbait. They gave it a bad score so people would click on it.
That game was...
And that was like the most annoying thing, because I hated both sides in that argument. Because one person was like, you just didn't give it a 10 because everyone else is giving it 10s because you think it's overrated. And you're like, yeah, but I'm a critic, so I think it's overrated. That's my opinion. So that's why I'm going to post it. But
being overrated, like, isn't
part of the thing. Isn't part of it.
Zelda Breath of the Wild is a really hard game to rate, like, day 1, 2. That's almost my least favorite thing about game reviews now, is that reviews will be out before the game even comes out.
Well, the problem with that sometimes is, like, how do you review a multiplayer game online?
Right. Yeah, ahead of time.
How do you review a community?
Yeah.
Or...
I mean, you can, like, review, like, whether the mechanics, like,
Persona
work.
5. How in the world would you review that game?
Because, like, if you get, like, a review copy, but you don't play it all the way through.
Yeah,
or what is... Oh, I'm trying to remember the game that was basically busted day one to where like, was it Prey? I think it was Prey. Yeah, it's Prey. Where
the new one or the old one?
The new one.
Okay, the one by Bethesda.
Yeah.
Bethesda. Yeah.
The reviewer played
Bethesda.
it. I wish I could remember the reviewer who did it or the company. The reviewer played it, got like halfway through, saved crashed. Guy lost his save, had to play it through again, and he scored the game more negatively because of that bug.
Right.
That bug was fixed day one.
Right. So
because
it's like
they found out because of that guy.
the reason you scored it negatively doesn't exist anymore, but that negative score is still there.
But the negative score can't get because on Metacritic you can't change scores. Once you submit a score, the score is there.
Right.
So games are such like a malleable thing now.
Right.
To where they're constantly changing. It's hard to give any game a score.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not like a set in stone, like we're never updating this again. You almost need to either go back and revise. You need to go back and revise scores,
Mm-hmm.
or you have to like just never give it a score and just be like, this is constantly up and changing.
Right.
I would even like it if it worked more like Rotten Tomatoes. I know that they have a percentage, but all of those critics work on a yes or no.
It's binary.
So I would want basically all of these people to tell Metacritic, is this game worth playing?
Right. Because
in your professional opinion, is this game worth playing?
The problem with that, it's funny because I just watched a whole thing on like the scoring system of Rotten Tomato, and so I have this like in my head. The problem with stuff like that is, where were the movies they used? It was like Get Out, Jordan Peele's movie, and Pixels. They both got certified fresh. They both got the fresh score, not like the highest one, but like the middle one.
Yeah.
Because I think you have to be at least 70% of people have to say yes to it for it to be fresh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so Pixels got fresh because at least 70% of people said it was worth watching, but because it was bad.
Yeah, because it's not saying...
Get Out got fresh because like 80% of people said it was good, and they had like a whole list of reasoning behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So they both got the same Rotten Tomato score, but that doesn't mean the movies are on the same level.
Right, because it's like, I'm not giving this movie a 70%. I'm saying 70% of people watch this movie. Or 70,
like 70% of people
like,
say...
Yeah,
70% of people said you should watch this even though it's bad.
Yeah.
See, and this is where you get into like reviews, like writing them out and everything. Most people, when they go to IGN to look at a review,
They look at the score and that's it.
They only look at the score. Whereas I would much rather them have, you should play this game, or you shouldn't play this game, or we recommend you play this game, or we recommend you don't play this game.
That's
at
why
the
you see
bottom,
yeah.
And then the review have everything good or bad in it.
That's
saying
why you
it's
see
a master pacing.
That's why you see a bunch of
whatever.
YouTubers and like internet reviewer people when they have their score system. They always have like they either have kind of binary or they have like more arbitrary. Like what's the completionist thing? Burn it, rent it, buy it, complete it.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Play it, complete it.
Play it, complete it. Yeah. So I like that.
Who came up with that?
The completionist.
That's really good. I like that.
His thing is he 100%s games.
Anything.
Yeah.
And he tells you like whether it's like worth it or whatnot, and he gives it a rating of like, should you play this to 100%? Should you play it? Should you even like get this game?
Yeah.
Or you could rent. Yeah, it's not rent, it's play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Because rent doesn't really exist anymore.
Right.
And I like that scale because that scale is ambiguous enough to where he's like, yeah, it's a good game. No, it's not really a good game, but you should play it for the experience.
Yeah.
Or this game is a really good game. It is not worth completing because it's not. There's just nothing at the end for you there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like when he says complete, he means like 100% everything you could possibly do in the game, like all the collectibles, everything.
Mm-hmm. He's saying what he did worth it. I like that score system. I really just don't like people. I like people who just like a full like long form like explanation of the game and tell you if the game is okay or not. People don't have time for that though. They want the number system of being able to be like, okay, this game's at like here, it's not quite here, but it's around here. So I mean, if your standards are this low, you should pick this game up.
You know what? We should have a reviewing system, and it's all based off the sizes of how much ice cream you get at Cold Stone. Where it's
like it, love it.
Like it. So it's always, even if you hate it, like even if it's the worst thing ever, it's like it.
Anyway,
this game is the worst. It literally gave me cancer.
Like it. That's my problem with what was it, Facebook for the longest time, or also Twitter, where you're like, I wish I could negatively affect this post.
Right, because it's such a weird, like, there's like sad reacts now.
I think you do angry reacts on Facebook.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's like my kid died in a car crash, and it's like, what? I don't like this.
Warren Martin liked your post. Thanks.
You like that my kid just died in a fiery car crash?
I wouldn't make sure you knew I saw it.
Which now there's sad react, so it's like you can be sad now. But for the longest time, it was just like.
See, here's the thing though, and this works with like Reddit, where you don't know who that other person is. But like I've experienced this where they even have it on like messages now, like Facebook messages, where I was sending out a message to all parents at my job, telling them, hey, like, this thing is going on, so we're going to move the time of this thing to the next day, which was, like, it was, like, from Friday to Saturday.
Yeah.
And, like, I knew that they had this time free and everything, and, like, whatever. I was like, we have to do this because this important thing is happening, and it was, like, an important thing for our church. Like, somebody had died, and there was, like, something going on that day.
Yeah.
And I put that as a message and tagged all of my youth parents in it. And then one of the parents angry reacted to it because they were upset with how I did it. And I was like, this is not how you tell me
that you don't like this.
That you don't like this.
I feel like that's a very dodgy way of doing it too. This is like I want you to know, but I do not want to do this face to face. I don't want confrontation, but I'm mad.
And I feel like just like that age people like are the only ones who react to parts and messages in general. Like we texted some friends who moved. They were the old children's pastors at our church, and we found like a picture of them at our wedding, and that's like before we were really close with them. But now we're closer, so it's like kind of sweet. And we sent it to them, and they just like hearted it and didn't say anything back.
That's upsetting on a lot of levels because they saw it.
Yeah, and it's just like you're bad at texting, you're bad at messages. It was really funny though. We got a good hearty laugh out of it.
Hearty laugh out of it?
Yeah, the heartiest of heart.
I hate that too because I'll text like just older people that I know individually, and I'll send like
I text old people all the time.
A really really nice message.
They're like, who is this?
Like I'll send out like a heartfelt message of like thanking them for something that they did that was really nice, and then they'll put a thumbs up. And I'm like, okay.
Is this how you would react if we were face to face? Like I say something, you're just like, yep, I'm giving you a thumbs up right now. I have to say it because this is all audio.
It's like, why is this a thing? Why are you sending me a thumbs up back? Like,
because it's the thing you can do, and it's like, this is positive. I feel like this is right. They're using everything they have at their disposal.
One old person I know that
typing out.
I really like how he reacts to things that he likes. Instead of sending like a smiley face or a thumbs up or anything, he'll just type out the word hug and send it. And I was like, that's really sweet. I really like that.
For the longest time on Facebook posts, my grandpa would just type like this.
That's not real.
No, it is real.
That is not real.
It is absolutely
that is not real. That's really funny.
I will tell you, I understand this because my grandma is obsessed with Facebook. My one that lives in Louisville, who's like super awesome and visits casinos all the time. She, for the longest time, didn't understand how Facebook worked because she would post her status, and then she thought that she also had to hit the share button. So she would post her status, and then she would share her status. So every post she had was twice. It was the best thing ever. We were like, Grandma, when you hit post, you shared it with everyone. She was like, but why is there a share button?
If someone else wants to share it.
Well, then why can I do it to me? Like,
interface, I guess. What's that? In whose face?
The UI.
I would.
Take it, Grandma.
You know how you talk to your grandma?
Anyway,
Is that how you talk to your grandma?
Just really fast because we're almost at an hour after.
And we haven't even. Well, no. Yeah.
I've watched 4 different things. I watched Big Bang Theory season 9. I've watched almost all of the World Cup, which is insane right now. Where if you guys are watching the World Cup,
I don't know crap about soccer, but I walked in on you watching
Switzerland versus Sweden.
Yeah, and I got very much into it in the last 2 minutes.
Like this is.
I wouldn't want to sit through all 90 minutes of it, but I liked watching the last 2.
Trying to get you guys to understand why this is important.
I understand why it's important. I just don't care.
No, specifically the way it is at this moment, based off of who is in the World Cup still. Like Messi's team already lost. Cristiano Ronaldo's team already lost. Like these are the biggest names of soccer. All of the teams that are still in it are filled with players who have never won the World Cup.
Oh, that's cool.
Not a single player who's playing still in the World Cup is a player who has won the World Cup.
Oh.
That is insane.
So no matter who wins, it's kind of a big thing.
Yes,
yeah, it's already historic.
Yeah, it's a big deal to whoever wins it. And it's wide open at this point because out of the top 10 teams in the world as ranked by FIFA, I think 2 of them are left, which is insane because this is the Spain's gone, Germany's gone, France is still in.
Is Brazil in?
Brazil barely.
Oh, weird.
They moved on, but just by barely.
I know Brazil's good at soccer.
Yeah. Neymar. I don't know if you know who he is. He's
he's a Submariner from Marvel.
No.
It's Namor, my bad.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm still watching the
is
100.
Pele making it?
No, Pele is not playing in the World Cup. He hasn't played soccer for years.
Okay.
What about
literally decades.
What about Federer?
Oh my gosh. He doesn't even play tennis anymore. He retired from tennis.
What about the girl who could bend it?
Venus and Selena. How about them? Dave Beckham. Where's Dave Beckham?
Well, the girl who could bend it like Beckham.
What
Dave
about Wayne
Beckham
Gretzky?
is probably filming some sort of underwear commercial.
It's a very handsome
He's like, oh yeah, the World Cup, I played in that.
I bet LeBron could be pretty good at soccer.
Oh my gosh. I've had somebody try to argue that to me, saying that he would make a good professional soccer player. Because he's just good at sports. No, he would not.
Why not? He's
show me videos of him being coordinated with his feet, and then I would maybe believe
That smells hard.
You know what? We'll just see him in the octagon.
Use your arms. You have to run around.
Oh my gosh.
Look, I think a thing to say there would be if you're good at a sport professionally, you're probably good at most sports.
Tell that to Michael Jordan.
Near professionally. Fair point.
This is the argument that I love having with people, specifically about the time when... Who was it? It was the... I almost said Street Fighter. It's the UFC fighter versus the boxer.
Yeah.
And they were both at the top of their game. And they were boxing each other. And it's so you got the world's best boxer versus the world's best UFC fighter.
Ewan McGregor.
And they're boxing.
Ewan McGregor?
Ewan McGregor.
Ryan McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Ryan McGregor is the guy I knew in high school.
Okay, reset. Cut this whole thing out.
No, this is hilarious.
Cut this whole thing. It was Conor McGregor
versus
Moneyboy Mayweather.
Yeah, Mayweather.
Yeah. It's funny that you know him as Moneyboy Mayweather.
That's what they call him because he makes
tagline.
He makes so much stinking money.
Either way, you took one of the world's best boxers versus one of the world's best UFC fighters, and you made them box. It would be like taking any other two.
We can get.
You can literally say that about anything.
We can get into this for a second because Conor McGregor is a great fighter, and Mayweather is a good boxer. The problem is if you made it like no holds bar, just fighting each other.
Yes,
Conor McGregor would win.
Maybe.
Yeah,
because if he's allowed to use his feet, you're dead.
Right.
But
they were boxing. So it's like in the opposite, like in the octagon, the other guy would have won.
Because it's just a funny thing to me. Like boxing is just UFC, just minus stuff.
Everything else, yeah.
It's just like it's restrictive.
Yeah.
But in UFC, it's like kill that guy.
Right. So in boxing, you're like
in actual
fight, you are made you are trained in fighting with just your fists.
Yes.
Right.
So you know what to do.
With gloves, like in a specific arena, like.
Because did you ever actually watch this fight, or did you just kind of see it? Or did you
I watched highlights.
I heard the hype.
Because there were so many times I watched it because I like UFC. There's so many times where they got into like the clinch, where you could see almost out of like instinct that when Conor got him to clinch, he almost like he would raise up his knee and
he's ready.
Like he would raise up his knee almost at an instinct of just like, oh, I can't do that, because it was like, I think it was like a 2. If Conor McGregor got caught using his feet, like if he ever kicked him,
Well, I mean, it's a disqualification.
No, he wouldn't get disqualified, but it was like a $2 million fine for every time he kicked.
Oh yeah, he would get fined super hard, but it's also like
I don't know if he get.
It's also illegal.
I don't know if he would get. Yeah, it's
he'd get arrested.
Now,
I don't know
if it would be immediately DQ'd, but I do know that like if you do that enough. If you do illegal moves like more than once, or if you do an illegal move that knocks out the other guy, you lose.
Right. Yeah. I always kind of thought that too. I always kind of thought about that when I was watching the fight. Cause like, yeah, he gets, because they talked about it, like he gets fined like $2 million for.
He's
doing
also
this.
making like so
that's
much
what
money.
That's what I was thinking of. Like,
he can get away with one.
I would get away. I would do one knee to the like to the ribs just to weaken him a little bit to maybe increase my chances.
You heard, like, both of those people are obviously, like, really prideful, awful people. Like, I don't know if you knew that about them.
I mean, you could say awful, but they are prideful.
Basically,
they're the best at their sport.
Basically, what people have said, though, beforehand is that they're not good people. Like, they love themselves to an extent.
They're
like,
yeah. I mean, they're in that like range to where they're kind of allowed to be.
All that to say, Mayweather has apparently a really big picture of Conor McGregor in his house now. Like,
well, it's also
I don't know if it's like this is a trophy to what I did, or I respect this human being, but
maybe something emotional happened when they were in the clinch.
Here's the thing with
the DNA test results came back. We're half brothers.
I knew it.
We had to keep fighting, so.
Just imagine like being Mayweather and being like the world's best boxer, and the guy on the other side of the ring is like, "You might beat me in this, but I can kill you. Just know I can kill you with my bare hands, and I mean it." And Mayweather being like, "Oh yeah, he's kind of right,
but I got him here.
But I can win here."
It would also, I bet.
How do we get on this? Why did we go into a UFC podcast?
We were talking about soccer. Oh, yeah.
Going back to the original point.
I remember
LeBron
now.
James, I've had way too many people, especially younger students and adults that I know, that I won't name names, try to argue to me that LeBron James would make he would be a better running back than most football players.
I think
he would be a better, they said baseball, they said all these different things, and I'm like, that is not true, because these people are trained year-round to be football players.
Maybe
he's trained year-round to be basketball. Like,
maybe not.
To be the basketball.
Maybe not baseball, because, like, size doesn't matter as much. But in, like, football, I feel like LeBron James would be good enough to be a pro athlete. He would be
not like now. Like if he like.
No, I think if he started from zero now.
Yeah.
If he started from zero now, no one knew who he was, but he was still like as big and as like.
But these are people who played football their entire lives.
Yeah, but also genetics plays a huge thing, in LeBron James genetically is a freak.
But he
is so big.
He hasn't like.
Have you ever seen him stand next to another human?
Yes, but that's not all it takes, though. Like
these also sometimes
these people have been tackled their whole lives. They know how to tackle people. And like,
that's not how that works.
You get tackled enough, you start to get a little woozy.
Like, I guarantee you, he plays football. They throw him in there as a running back, who's the guy they hand the ball off to. He runs forward and just gets plowed by another human being. He's done. He's not playing football again, because that's not what he's used to having happen to him. Like, these people have been having people freight train tackle them since they were like in kindergarten. Maybe not kindergarten, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, they played flag football then.
But I still think LeBron James has the speed and the size enough to be a professional football player. I don't care. I'm not gonna die on this hill because I don't even like basketball or football enough for
How
this.
many NBA games did you watch this last year? Or almost called you Kevin. Warren.
That's how mad at you I am right now, as I told you Kevin.
I think I might have watched 2. I don't care. That's the thing. I do think just a good enough athlete, the best athlete at one sport, could make a good mid-level athlete at another professional sport.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think just size and coordination.
My problem is that that's not the only argument they make. They're like, he would be one of the best at this other sport, and it's like,
no. Also, how do you like determine the best football player? Because there's too many positions.
Right. You do everything. I mean,
I'm the world's best linebacker, but that doesn't make me the best football player.
Yeah. Normally
the
quarterback is typically
the ones who get the most points.
People typically agree or hate to admit that Tom Brady is the best football player right now, and but he's just the best quarterback. Like he would, if you put Tom Brady on the line,
that's the thing
as a linesman, he would last one play.
And that's the thing I never understood about like saying who's the best like football player, especially football, because basketball everyone kind of does almost the same thing. There's different positions you do, but you're all kind of doing the same. But football has like strict positions, and even though you have strict positions, there's also the coach who's making all the plays. So if your coach isn't good, and he's making the actual he's making the actual strategy.
He's drawing the doodles.
He's the coach is the one playing the game. You guys are doing
kind of.
Yeah, I mean you guys have to do your part, but he's the one still like.
I mean, he doesn't tell them who to throw it to, and he normally gives the quarterback the option to switch up the play and hand it off instead.
If he needs to.
If
they need to. It's a team effort.
Yes. Yeah. You're absolutely right. I would argue that football is more of a team sport than basketball. The reason I would, and anybody who would get mad at saying that,
you couldn't win a game of football like solo.
Yeah, right, you can't carry in football.
No.
You yourself can't have one really good player that gets you to the finals. Whereas in the NBA, we literally had that with LeBron James for the last 5 years.
Right.
Like, that's why we make fun of the other Cavaliers and everything.
Right.
With the SNL skit with Donald Glover.
Thanks, LeBron.
I'm
sorry, man.
Anyway, we're at 1:11. I will talk about the other two things I have next week, just as an extra little thing. I might even finish all of it. I'm watching BoJack Horseman.
Okay.
I love BoJack.
I'm almost done.
Oh, man, season 4 is like one of my favorites.
So
I love BoJack, but I love BoJack, and I mean it makes me very sad.
So we can talk about BoJack next week.
Cool.
News.
The news.
Okay, since you did your whole thing, I'll say my one bit. The EVO 2018 leaderboards just got updated, which is basically like the registration numbers.
Yeah.
Who do you think's number 1?
0.
No.
What is EVO?
No, sorry. The most which games had the most registration?
Oh, okay. Most registered game. Most Melee?
What is this?
Okay, sorry. So EVO is the Evolution tournament.
It is the biggest fighting game tournament of the year.
This is the FGC equivalent of like the Super Bowl.
Okay.
But like for 8 different sports.
Okay.
Because every fighting game is you would consider a different sport. Essentially.
What fighting games are available for this?
All right,
okay, so I got it.
Oh yeah, you have the list.
So there's 8. There is BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, which is a brand new game, which personally I don't believe should be there because it's like less than a month old. Super Smash Bros. 4. Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Okay.
Tekken 7.
Okay.
Street Fighter 5.
Okay.
DBZ Fighters. Guilty Gear. Injustice and did I say Tekken? Yeah, that's 8.
What is the 7th one you said again?
Was it Guilty Gear?
Guilty Gear.
What in the world is Guilty Gear?
Guilty Gear is a
super Japanese.
It's an anime fighter, so it's a super high speed like 2D fighter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. Interesting thing about this one is this is like the first EVO, or at least the first EVO in a long time that does not have a Marvel vs. Capcom game. Because Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came out and it was not good. So they took out Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and put in Dragon Ball Z Fighters, a brand new game.
Even funnier, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was made by Capcom.
Okay.
So, in the Capcom Cup, which is Capcom's own tournament series, where they travel, they have like Capcom Cup Montreal, Capcom Cup Los Angeles, and all that.
Yes.
They took out Marvel Infinite.
Do they do Marvel vs. Capcom 3 still?
Yes.
Okay.
I think. They took out Infinite.
That's literally them admitting that their game is bad.
That's
they have no faith in their own game.
That's Capcom saying they don't have faith in Capcom. To be fair, that's like Capcom's like what? Only trip up in the last like 4 years now.
Right, they've been doing really good.
They've been
lately.
on like a really
because they had a couple years where they were just like eh.
Mm-hmm.
But now with
they're back to Cap God.
Yeah, with the revival of the Resident Evil franchise, and there's a new Mega Man game coming out, and Street Fighter V over its initial humps.
Yeah. Okay, but back to my original question: what do you think is the most registered game at EVO this year?
Okay, so if it wasn't Melee
is fourth.
I'm going DBZ Fighters.
DBZ Fighters is number 1. The brand new Hyper Fighter game is now the number 1 registered game at EVO.
I'm so excited.
The only thing to ever, I think the only game that's ever been number 1 up until this point has been Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Street Fighter is always number 1 because that's the FGC game.
Yeah.
So right now,
where's Rocket League?
It's not a fighting game.
Hey, you can do solos. You can do 1v1.
I mean, you can, I guess. So right now, the top 8 in order is DBZ Fighters, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, Tekken 7.
Oh dang, really? I didn't expect Tekken to overtake Smash.
Tekken 7, Super Smash Bros. Melee. 5 is BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. 6 on the list is Super Smash Bros.
There's more BlazBlue than there is Smash 4?
I'll tell you about that in a second. 7 is Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2. God, I hate that name. And 8th in the very back is Injustice 2.
You think there'd be a lot of people doing 4 this year because this is the last time it's going to be at EVO?
So the problem with Smash Brothers and EVO is EVO typically treats Smash Brothers as a second-class citizen. They never give them like the main stage.
Mm-hmm.
They never treat the players well. Usually the Tekken players, the Marvel vs. Capcom players, and the Street Fighter players just get treated more like professionals in general.
Mm-hmm.
In Smash Brothers, it's been typically seen as like more of the side of it kind of thing.
Yeah.
The only reason like Melee was there for as long as it was like Melee players are crazy.
Yeah.
Melee players show up in droves no matter where the game is at.
Yeah.
Melee players will come in like swarms. So you can't get rid of Melee.
Right, it's never dying.
But, like, I think it was...
Even after Ultimate, we're still going to have Melee.
I think, like, 2 years ago, I think in 2016, I think EVO just treated Smash 4 players, like, terribly. Like, they gave the top players, like, hotel rooms, but the hotel rooms were, like, under renovation, and, like, there were no power in their hotel rooms. Their pools were managed poorly, and... there was no practice areas for your top 16 players, so they were just being treated very... It was very, like, open. Like, all the top players were very much like, yeah, they're not treating us well. Let's not come here next year. And the numbers dropped last year, and they're continuing to drop.
Gotcha.
But, that being said, DBZ Fighters...
So crazy.
And Leffen...
Yeah, Leffen plays DBZ Fighters now.
He was, like, I don't know if he didn't win CEO, but he was in the top at CEO.
Yeah.
I think he versed... I don't want to say who he fought.
Right.
I can't remember. So...
Because I'm subscribed to the DBZ Fighters subreddit, and
right.
It's so weird to see Leffen's name pop over there when I'm used to seeing him associated with Melee. I'm like, is this the same Leffen?
Mm-hmm. So, that's cool to me. The thing with DBZ Fighters, and I want to know how it works.
Can you show me?
Because I think DBZ Fighters also has, like, the most, like, people who signed up for more than one thing.
Right, so a lot of people are playing X and DBZ Fighters.
Right, because DBZ Fighters is such, like, a approachable game.
Yeah.
Because everyone loves DBZ.
Right.
And everyone loves Hyper Fighters. And it's a pretty simple game to really get into.
Right.
It's a really hard game, but simple to get into.
Right.
So I think a lot of people are playing Smash and...
It's a low floor, high ceiling.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people playing Smash and DBZ Fighters. I think there's a lot of people playing Melee and DBZ Fighters. I think there's a lot of people playing
Street Fighter
and DBZ Fighters. And everyone who played Marvel Infinite who doesn't get to show it off.
Oh, yeah. All the Marvel people
went
move over there.
So
because it's the same kind of game.
Yeah, so your skill sets are interchangeable. So EVO's coming up. I'm excited about that.
When's, do you know the dates?
Nope.
It's like next week or the week after, right?
I think it's the week after. Hold on. EVO
Las Vegas
2018.
So while he's looking that up, do you think next year when the game all
August
the
3rd.
anime.
Oh, it's in August this year?
Yeah, it's August 3rd through the 5th
That's weird. It's normally in July.
in LA.
With all the anime characters that got announced at E3 this year.
No.
You don't think that would be
That
on there?
game's going to be shallow.
Which game?
Shonen All-Stars. Jump All-Stars.
Oh, that game is not going to have...
You don't think it's gonna be good?
Oh, it might be good. It's not going to be competitive.
It's not going to be good. It might be alright, but...
Did you know that Light Yagami is not going to be in that game?
Yeah, which I think is stupid.
He's just like a story-based character.
Right, so don't feature him in the trailer
I'm so mad at that.
if you're not going to be able to
Wait,
play
what's
it.
the character?
Light Yagami
The
from
characters
Death
from
Note.
Death Note. They're...
See, that would be... How does that person fight?
But that's why...
Don't put them in the trailer!
No,
yeah.
no. Sit down and actually think for 5 minutes. Do you know who else is in a fighting game?
Who?
Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
That's true.
How? Why? How?
Because Capcom actually sat down and thought about how to play a character instead of just being like, he doesn't have a sword or a gun.
Yeah, Captain Falcon was a racer in any game he had been in.
You're right.
I think the right term is racist.
Gosh dang it. Like, if anything, you could have or you could do kind of like Pokemon Trainer, just have Light standing in the background, and then Ryuk actually fight.
Yeah, even though Ryuk's never fought.
But
that doesn't matter.
he still can.
Yeah, you can still try. I hate that so much because that just kind of shows me the people who are making the game are like, this guy doesn't punch or have a sword or guns. I don't want you to do it.
It's like, but we're still gonna put him in the trailer to get people excited about him.
Give you like a nice stinger with him. I hate it.
Right. And I know that, like,
I hate you.
talking, like...
Sorry, I brought it up. I was trying to contribute to the fighting game conversation. I had no idea.
They do something like that
FGC is live.
within, friggin'... I mean, I know this is a bad game, and everyone knows it's a bad game, but they do the same sort of thing in Sonic Forces, because in the trailer, like, they're like, oh, there's these 4 bad guys here that are from past games, but you only fight 2 of them.
Do you?
Yeah. The other 2 get killed in, like, cutscenes.
Oh.
And one of them that you fight is from another bad game that no one cares about. You don't fight Shadow, but you fight the bad guy from Lost Worlds.
Is that like the Diablo? Look, what's that guy's name?
Yeah, Zavok.
Zavok.
Who are the 4 villains?
It's Metal Sonic, Chaos, Shadow, and Zavok.
Chaos came back, though?
Yeah, but you don't fight him.
Oh.
And
That's
it's not
dumb.
really Chaos. Spoilers.
That's one of my favorite things about Sonic Adventure is that, like, you fight different versions of Chaos.
Yeah,
And,
like it's
Sonic
not
that's so
yeah.
good. Not to say that was, like, the world's best game. But
Right.
it is really, like, to me it was good.
Right, especially at the time.
All right. Do we feel like we covered
Yeah, let's
Evo?
I'm good
move
with
on.
I'm good with Evo. I'm good with what I
Next
talked
up
about. I'm
on
happy.
my bit of news, I only have 3 huge pieces, and then we can talk smaller things. Star Wars. This shows you how slow this news week was. Star Wars Episode 8, or whatever you want to call them. Loyal fans of Star Wars. I would not call them loyal fans of Star
The
Wars.
extremists.
But
rebels.
people who were really upset about the latest episode of Star Wars, Episode 8, want it redone, and had created a... What did they create? It's like a Patreon, whatever you want to call it.
Change.org petition.
Yeah.
And you can donate money, and they've raised, like, thousands of dollars.
Oh, wait, they have money?
Yes, they've been asking people to give money, and they have a group of directors who are going to do this film.
Like, in their, like, mom's backyard? Like...
Probably. Which, if that's the case, I would totally donate
You don't
money to
have
that.
the Oh, what's that
rights.
called? The
Sweeting it.
Sweeting it, yes.
Also, how in the world are you going to get those actors and actresses when Disney would never allow that?
Not only that, no matter how much money you raise with this petition, I promise will not make you more money than what it
Than what Disney threw at a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Not only that, like, how much they probably made off that film.
Right.
Oh yeah, and
And, like,
everything about this is just stupid.
Like,
it's The thing is, the person who did this,
probably did it as a joke.
it's either 2 things. It's either like satire, or they're stupid.
And,
And both of those people, both types of people that would do that, do not deserve the recognition they're getting right now.
Right. And, like, here's my thing. I don't want to get too much into this, but I will admit that I did not like The Last Jedi.
I think you're in the majority. I don't think you
Yeah,
have to be saying this.
loved the film.
But there's this thing where people aren't allowed to have, like, tame opinions anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to dislike The Last Jedi. I have to hate The Last Jedi with a passion. These people are like, it's probably like one person was like, oh, I didn't like The Last Jedi. And the other person's like, you know what, I didn't like the third one's like, this is the worst movie ever. Let's do this thing.
Let's go murder Ryan Johnson's family.
And it's like, guys, I cannot like the movie. It's okay. We don't need to do that. You can't have an opinion anymore without, like, there being loud, extreme people with, like, a worse version of your opinion. And then that's who you get associated with. People are like, people who didn't like The Last Jedi are just babies. And it's like, I didn't like The Last Jedi.
To be fair, you are a literal baby.
Well, that's true. I am. If you guys didn't know this, I know this from, I'm 2 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's why his voice is so high.
Yeah. And don't worry, it'll drop one day.
Oh, yeah.
But,
double T in the morning.
I don't know. I just don't like this petition for that reason of it's just nonsensical.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you could do in retaliation to this movie, but this is not the right way to do it.
It was also
Because
funny.
it makes me more mad because you're just taking money from people now.
Yeah.
To do what?
Also, they had, like, targets.
To pay off the lawyers who are going to sue them for this.
Immediately. Like, the second they start filming anything, Disney will be down their throat.
Yeah.
Also, it was just really funny, like, seeing some of their targets. Like, they had, like, Target, we want to raise $80,000, and it's like,
$80,000? What, are you gonna buy a camera?
it's like, how much do you think it costs to, like,
to make a movie?
not only that, like, get even one actor on that?
Oh,
I guarantee you, like, Ray's actress probably made Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
Probably
And you can remember because it's the two new Super
more
Smash
than
Brothers
80,000.
characters.
Daisy Ridley.
Oh my god.
You think they were watching Star Wars and were like,
Daisy Ridley, I got an idea. Sakurai.
Wow. That blew my mind.
you know, if who's the guy making Death Stranding? Kojima. If Kojima was like making Smash and somebody was like, so when are we gonna find out when the new Smash characters are coming out? You'd be like,
They're already out. You already know them.
have you seen Episode 8 of Star Wars? And everyone's like,
What?
They showed a preview for it, and it's just a lightsaber. And it's like,
I don't even.
Are we putting Jedi in Smash? Daisy and Ridley. Wait, what? No. So that happened. My other bit of news is that
I know we said the thing about extreme opinions and how they're awful. I want to find and hurt the person that started that petition.
All right, we can disagree on.
Not really. Maybe just a stern talking to.
Well, they're going to have their life ruined in a little while, so
When they get sued, when they get sued to oblivion.
Either that, or they just have a lot of angry people showing up at their house demanding their money back.
Yeah.
And
Led by me.
Right.
Wait, did you give them money?
I mean,
Anyway, my other bit of news. First of all, happy 4th of July. I think we already said that, but
yeah, happy again. Hope you had a good one.
In the spirit of 4th of July, GTA
Right.
and State of Decay both released packs or DLCs that, and here's the interesting thing to me, they named them the same thing.
Oh.
They're both
that's
called
awkward.
the Independence Pack,
Right.
or something like that. Which, I mean, I
that's
understand
pretty
whatever.
Yeah.
ambiguous.
You can't like copyright independence.
Yeah. But they both,
Unless you're America.
they both put them out, and GTA's looks really fun. They're adding a bunch of new costumes and like explosions and stuff.
Right, because they had added fireworks previously.
Yeah. And then State of Decay 2 added like mortar, specifically mortar fireworks and like other different kinds of fireworks.
Mhm.
So like if you are at home and maybe you're alone or you hate going outside and you don't want to watch actual fireworks,
Don't want to scare your dog.
you could play State of Decay 2 or GTA and have fun that way while also murdering zombies or, innocent bystanders.
Can you
in
kill
GTA.
zombies with fireworks?
Probably.
You can catch them on fire, yes.
It's kind of like that.
I mean, they die
They
afterwards.
die, I mean, yeah.
I just hope everybody enjoys celebrating the best country day to happen this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
There's two.
There's two.
Wait, what's the second one?
Canada Day.
Canada has a country day in this week?
Yeah, it was on Sunday, and we have the better one on Wednesday.
Wait, so is it their Independence Day?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, they beat us by a couple days. But it probably wasn't the same year, so it's okay.
The fact that I don't know this is proof that like ours is better.
That's the most American thing you can say.
I never heard of your Independence Day, but I've heard of ours.
Anyway, you can go shoot off some...
What's the name of your prime minister? I don't know, so it doesn't matter.
I bet you know our president's name, though.
You're welcome.
Oh, gosh. All right. Other than that, we have some releases that came out this past week that I wanted to talk about. Two of which got announced actually three of which got announced at E3, and they all dropped this week. One of which is Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit.
Oh, that came out?
Yeah. Which is, I think it's free to play.
Yeah,
so,
it's absolutely 100% free.
All of it?
Yeah, it's just one chapter. And it's just a thing.
And the reviews of it were actually... nobody's saying it's like the best game ever, obviously, but everybody's saying it's good.
Right, and it's free, so no one's going to be like, oh, this is the worst thing
right.
ever.
It's supposed to
immediately you're like... Your floor of reviews is pretty low.
Right, because it's just a feel-good, like, here we go.
Mm-hmm. Apparently in it, you're supposed to find, like, tie-ins that will happen in the next Life is Strange. Which is
that
neat.
makes sense.
Also, this game looks just, like, really, really... Like, we were watching it the whole time, we were like... I think your reaction was, well, this is wholesome.
Yeah.
Like, I think those exact words came...
This looks like something Michael Cera would be in.
Yeah.
I think, like, the nice, like, little ukulele, like... upbeat tunes and like the hand drawn.
Yeah, you said it reminded you of Juno.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, but I think I'll play it at least.
The one thing I do know about the game is you fight like pretend monsters around your house.
Yeah.
And the one thing I love that
It's
I
like
heard
Rugrats.
about
It's this little
There's a
kid
thing-
playing pretend.
Yeah, there's a thing where you had to go fight the water eater.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the water heater?
It's the water heater. And you draw like his outfits and everything. Like you draw whatever his costume is because it's like sketch style on his face. So like you can give him a little helmet.
That's cool.
I just remember from the preview we got, he was playing outside and playing like pretend like he had a gun or like a wand or something, and he was fighting bad guys, and he lit a firecracker like in real life and placed it in the snowman. The snowman, and then he stepped back, and like you were supposed to try to time it right to where the firecracker explodes, and it looks like he hit it. And, like I was like, that's cute. Like, I'll try that game. The other two was DK DLC for Rabbids.
I need to play that. I need to play the game itself.
Oh yeah,
Mario vs. Rabbids. Donkey Kong is now in it. Or is it Mario? Is it Mario versus Rabbids? Or just
it's
Mario,
just I think it's just called Mario Rabbids.
It's Mario Rabbids.
Well, there you go.
Kingdom Battle or something like that.
I've never played the game, but I've heard it explained that it's kind of like XCOM.
It is.
Yeah, it's easier XCOM.
It really is because there's like your percentage thing isn't like you have a 65.9% chance of doing this. It's either you have a 0% chance, you have a 50% chance, or it's a 100% chance.
Okay.
And unlike XCOM, if it's a 100% chance, you're gonna hit.
It will hit every time. Yeah.
That's my favorite thing to watch on like subreddits and stuff for gaming and everything.
Yeah.
People will post pictures and it says like 99%, and your gun is like in the person's face, and you shoot and it goes through their face and misses. And it's like
Freaking XCOM.
Right?
What?
What? Okay, and then The Crew 2 just dropped.
Cars.
Which is Cars.
I don't
know. It got decent reviews.
I have never played like a driving game that's just a driving game.
Yeah.
You ever play like a Forza or a?
No.
I think the closest thing I've ever played to that was like
Diddy Kong Racing.
Yes. Midnight Club 2, which was like, I loved that game too. Midnight Club 2 Bel Air? I don't know if that was the name of it.
That sounds fresh.
Midnight Club. Wait, that's what I said.
Feel like
Midnight Club. Wait, no.
I thought that was the
Midnight Club.
I thought it was the tagline. I was like, Midnight Club 2, Midnight Club. That's not right.
Midnight 2. Midnight Club. What are we gonna call this one? We need a tagline. I got it. Midnight 2. Midnight Club.
Let's go inside. Anyway.
What's the name of it?
I do feel like in order to do well as a racing game, and there are people who just get really into racing games in particular, especially
Midnight Club
like,
2
realist-
Dub Edition.
Oh, snap.
Dub
Dub edition.
W edition.
All right, today I'm driving in this car.
Is that your George W. Bush impersonation?
It's a bad one, but yes. W.
All right. That's what you sounded like.
Alright.
Yeah, it's W mixed with what's his name?
Alright.
Yeah, that guy.
Dying Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
I was like,
why can't I think of his name? Anyway, that dropped, and then lastly, Inside on Switch.
Oh yeah,
Got
it got
released.
in Limbo, both of them.
Oh, both of them got
cool.
released?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I've played through both of them, so I probably won't download them on my
Right.
Crash
Switch.
Bandicoot came out on it too.
on Switch?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
Man, I want it.
you already own it.
I know, but I want to play it
Anywhere.
anywhere.
That's-
Also,
That's
the difference between Inside and Limbo, I never finished playing through that again, like the remastered version.
Yeah.
So playing it on Switch would probably be better for me because I don't like sitting down in my house playing Crash. I would much rather just like
re-releasing.
Get
feels
the
like
original experience.
Yeah.
Re-releasing games on Switch is one of the smartest things I think developers can do right now, because exactly what you just said.
Mhm.
Like, if I released something on PS4 and then like 2 years later I released it on Xbox, no one's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
And maybe Xbox players who just like vagrantly didn't want it on
It's like Rise of the Tomb Raider
yeah.
when it finally dropped like a year and a half later for
Right.
PlayStation.
But on
it didn't-
Switch,
Yeah.
but on Switch it's kind of like, oh man, Skyrim's out.
I can take Skyrim anywhere.
I can take Skyrim anywhere. Oh man, Crash Bandicoot came on Switch. I can take Crash Bandicoot anywhere.
And those levels are perfect for like
A trip.
oh, I only have like 5 minutes, or I'm going
Right.
to the bathroom.
The early levels are.
Yeah,
The
it's,
Crash-
The later levels are long and hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, Inside on Switch got dropped. If you've not played Limbo or Switch, I would say
Limbo or Switch.
Limbo or Inside.
There you go.
I would say you should absolutely play them.
I've not played Inside.
Really?
Yeah.
I would dare say I enjoyed Inside more than I did Limbo.
You haven't played it Inside?
No. I played Limbo with you, but I haven't played Inside.
I don't want to talk about what I was going to talk about then, because I was going to talk about the ending
Oh,
Yeah.
don't
with you guys.
Don't talk
But
about
we're
it.
No, we need.
you play
You
it.
need to play it, and we need to watch you.
Okay.
You guys got time right now?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's only like a 2-hour game.
But what
I
it
have.
depends on how quickly you play.
Yeah.
Because there are
depends
things
if
where you
you're an
can
idiot or not.
backtrack
Yeah.
and stuff too, for like collectibles and everything. Yeah, you should play it and then we'll talk about it, the ending specifically
Okay.
on here.
So that means there's gonna be spoilers.
Yeah.
So
And that's
warning.
That's all I have. So
All right. So
Okay, what's coming up this week?
anything big?
I'm gonna finish
I
Megalobox.
don't know.
Oh yeah, dude. We'll talk about that
Yeah,
next
well,
time when you've
yeah.
actually seen it.
I keep wanting to watch it, but it's only in subbed, and so you have to really sit down and commit the time. Usually, I'll watch something while playing something.
Yeah, same.
But when it comes to like anime that's only subbed, if you look away ever, you miss an important
Yeah.
plot point.
That's why I hate like watching anime, like subbed anime when I'm like, about to go to sleep, and then I'll just like nod off, and then I'm like, I have no clue what's going on.
I almost rather read manga for that reason.
Right, but screw reading manga.
You're still reading.
No, it's not the fact of reading. I just like seeing the stuff. Like
Yeah,
if
that's
I'm
true.
if I'm going,
Megalobox in general, I would never like want to watch it because
Yeah.
the animation and everything that show is
right.
so good.
Also, it doesn't have a manga.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. We'll talk about more about that next time though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure that before next week I will
Next time on.
I will play
Mediaphile.
something or watch something, so I'll actually have something new to talk about.
Yeah.
But are we good?
I think we're good.
All right, so
Is that
time to
podcast?
close up. Thank
Did
you
we-
guys for listening. Please follow us on Twitter. And you can follow us individually on Twitter. I'm at MCCoin.
I'm at Joshua Doolin, I think.
And I think
actually.
I'm Warren Martian.
Yeah.
I think
Our accounts will be linked to the
Mediaphile.
podcast Twitter.
All right.
But lastly, these are your hosts, Josh.
Josh,
And Warren.
thank you for watching. Love
Who
you.
are you? Did we beat the podcast?
Bye.
Do you want to go eat?